Is Andy Curtin. I'm just doing a little intro for our podcast this week to give somewhat of an explanation. So basically, we've changed a few things on the podcast. We took a little bit of a break, but now we're back. And what we're doing now, Vivek and I are live streaming at 11 a.m. every Sunday. We did it last week, and for those of you that tuned in, something went wrong with the sound. We ended up with an echo and chipmunks voices. So we made the executive decision not to release that. We've done it again. We've done a podcast again this week, which I'm about to go into the live stream recording of. We screwed it up the first time, and then as we got the sound was screwed, and as we came back on the second time, I didn't introduce it properly. So that's what I'm doing right now, and just to let you know what's going on. So if you wanna get in on the live stream, 11 a.m. Hong Kong time every Sunday. You've got to go through the Podbean app, which is kind of annoying, but it's the only way we can do it. And then I'll be releasing every recording on Monday morning at the old time. So if you can't get the live stream, don't worry. You're still going to catch it. And with that, let's get into the episode. Okay, we're on. Great.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Good Lord. Sorry, guys. Thanks for jumping over. Sound great. No echo or chipmunk.
Yes,
Bang.
we did it. Oh, yeah.
Now we have to fake the chipmunks for the entire podcast.
That's right. We're gonna make it.
Hello, it's me.
Hello.
That's what I think I sound like normally, though. Like if someone says, "Hey, Andy, you sound like a chipmunk," my first thought isn't, "Oh, we have an audio issue."
Yeah, you're thinking like, that's actually my voice. Well, thank you.
Well,
I
I'm
can relate to a
not
character.
the manliest person I know.
Yeah.
I can acknowledge
It's
that.
okay. I mean, like, you don't need that voice of like, good morning, everyone. So, yeah, we were talking about the blue sky, which is still blue, shockingly.
So, well, full disclosure, we've
Yeah.
been booted out of the comedy club. So we're recording at WeWork, and WeWork are open, but
Yeah.
I guess they decided no one was coming here. So they
Yeah.
haven't turned on their ACs. So we're basically recording this in a sauna right now.
Yeah. I like literally with the sun blazing, the sunlight coming through the windows, and we're in a room where there are air conditioners, but they're not on.
Yeah,
I can like that
I
just
can hear something. They're
Right?
just teasing us.
like that's the
The air
thing.
conditioners are just ongoing.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah, but we're not
We're
here.
not doing anything.
Yeah, it's like one of those things, if the tree falls and no one's there to hear, did it really fall kind of deal? Well, the aircon's there, but it didn't really do anything. Is it really there?
Tim's asking if there's a way to turn them on. I mean, I could probably go down to the first floor and ask the people working here, but that's his.
I think it's a cool challenge. I mean, like,
we'll
this
just
will
do
be
it.
pretty fun.
It's
I mean,
show business, baby.
yeah, that's right. The show must go on.
Exactly.
There's no reason not to have the show. I mean, it's not like there's an audience complaining. There's not
Yeah.
a questionnaire at the end of this. And if anyone, you guys can probably.
Nick said this is officially a weather podcast. Dude, the thing is, like, I don't know if you've ever been to, there are taps of beer here. No, they're definitely locked. There's Stella, there's Guilo, which you can't drink.
yeah.
But I can drink.
For us, legal reasons, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you've ever been to the WeWork on Wyndham Street,
Yeah.
it used to be, we're on the top floor.
Yeah, this used to be, I believe, Azure. That was the club.
It
There
used
was
to be a
2 floors.
nightclub, and
Yeah,
it is
And I remember like how
unbelievable view.
it's beautiful. I mean, the floor we're on is the higher floor of the.
Hey, my
ex-Azure.
buddy Andrew Dale's on. Hey,
Hey,
dude.
what's up?
Was
What's
just
up?
chatting to him.
Yeah, just let you know. So we are actually in this nice, big, beautiful room. It's got speakers, it's got books, sofas, chairs, everything, like the whole shebang, except the one
And
thing
a
which is actually.
1,000 degrees.
Yeah,
the-
exactly.
The one thing that we need is
Yeah,
a
they are-
livable climate.
Yeah, I mean, I did consider like there's a little fridge that you took a drink from and stuff, and I was thinking like, what if we move everything over there?
Just record in the fridge.
that or keep the fridge doors open.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not what I was thinking.
yeah, oh, inside the fridge.
Yeah.
I don't know about the acoustics of that.
Yeah.
I don't know, the echo of the fridge. I mean, I've never used an audio app that kind of, fix fridge audio.
Hey, I'm Andrew Dale's typing. Cheers, man. Dude, it's great to see you / hear from you in any form. So the point that we were making, though, is sitting up here, it's been, the skies in Hong Kong have been so blue, and I
Yeah.
don't have a lot of experience. Do you realize that? Wait, let me think about it. I have lived in Hong Kong
Yeah.
under COVID longer than I haven't.
Welcome to Hong
that.
Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is our way of welcoming people now. We're just like, you know what? Just stay put. Just stay put. Don't do anything.
One of my favorite jokes of Turner's was when he arrived in Suzhou, like right after SARS.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he
man.
was like seeing everyone with seeing like
Masks and
homeless people
yeah.
with face masks on. He
Yeah.
was like, man, they'll let anyone be a doctor here.
Exactly, right? Yeah, you're like, I mean, I know these stereotypes, but this is too much. Is the competition so high that you could still be homeless
What's that
when
guy
you're a
running?
doctor?
The guy's running a dermatology unit under a bridge.
Yeah, I mean, like, space is limited, and there's a higher demand than supply, and what can you do? But yeah,
So we were talking though in our minute of being on the no audio feed
Yeah.
that Ryan Hynek, one of our buddies, is a comedian. He does a lot of hiking, which hiking, Vivek,
Yeah.
that's when you walk outside
voluntarily.
in nature. Yeah, voluntarily. Yeah.
Why? I mean, that is such disrespect to the person who invented buses and the wheel.
Yeah, well, I don't need to respect that guy.
True,
Og-
fair enough. Probably
Og
dead anyway.
from fucking Cave 8.
Yeah, exactly. Cave 8, yeah.
So they didn't have numbers when they had.
Okay, so you guys decided to walk to a place for no intended purpose.
Dude, it's the best. That's the one thing about the situation right now is
Yeah.
that we can go into nature. It's like one of the few things you can do. In
Fair
fact,
enough.
I don't know if you saw this, but there was a banker. This is really sad. 2 little kids just fell off the edge of a cliff the other week
That's why I don't go hiking.
and passed away.
I've never fallen off my chair and passed away.
yeah,
I've
well,
never
you-
had that
you
happen.
will eventually. Your day
I will
come.
be on a bed, sir. Let me
Yeah,
tell you
With
that.
this lack of actual exercise.
I'm
it's not-
investing in a proper
Yeah.
bed, a deathbed.
My
all that
health's
stuff.
fine. I sit in a chair all day.
Yeah, I have trees. I have a monitor I can look at. But anyway, okay.
Hikers,
guys went
are,
hiking.
hikers are campers who quit halfway. There you go. From
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We're not stopping. We're gonna keep going, guys. Burn those calories.
So,
okay, you were hiking.
no, I wasn't with him.
Okay.
But he was saying that there is a trail they do on Lantau Island.
Yeah.
Which that's in the west
That's
of Hong
again,
Kong?
it's an island separate from the city. Again,
The city's
why?
on an island.
What's the necessity?
And he said that they could see Hong Kong City, like the Hong Kong Island, and they'd never been able to do that before
Yeah,
in like 17 years or something.
yeah.
Doing that trail. And so that says a lot about really how blue the skies are these days. And another thing is that we were hiking near Tung Chung
Yeah.
and we could see Shenzhen. And Shenzhen, the factories are on, and there's clearly pollution over Shenzhen.
Yeah.
And my takeaway from that was that maybe a lot of the pollution on Hong Kong isn't actually from mainland China.
Oh, it could be. I mean, like there are fewer planes now, right? So that contributes a lot to pollution in general. I remember people aren't driving so much. I mean, I'm not hiking, so less carbon dioxide for me. You're welcome, world.
Yeah, I'm doing my part.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm taking slower breaths now. I'm taking deeper breaths.
With that plastic bottle of water you got there.
Well, it's a reused plastic bottle of water.
Oh yeah.
So compared to your little aluminium can, sir.
Yeah, well, all right. Isn't plastic more likely to kill a seal? I don't know.
Well, I mean, the seals again, carbon dioxide generator. So I'm trying to help.
Ew.
All right, okay. So they were feeling a sense of accomplishment that they could see Hong Kong.
Well, it was just indicative of how clear the skies have
All
been.
right.
And the other thing they were saying is that they were like, okay, so what is Hong Kong? What is it in Hong Kong that's causing all the pollution? And the suggestion from somebody was that it's the ships apparently burn a lot of bad
I'm pretty
stuff.
well. That's highly likely. I mean, they're big.
Here we go. Of course, Andrew Dale, of course he knows this.
All right.
He said 70% of Hong Kong's pollution is domestic.
Ah.
So the next time,
yeah.
like, listen, I'm all for ragging on some of the terrible things done by the Chinese government,
Yeah.
but the pollution in Hong Kong,
you can't blame him.
it's actually not their fault.
Yeah,
really.
so they
30% still a lot. but-
I wish we had the rights to Shaggy's song "It Wasn't Me." That'd be a perfect time to play that song right now.
Here we go. Peter says, "Is that Peter? Oh my God! There's between Peter and Andrew Dale. I can't say any facts because you two know everything." He said Hong Kong ships must use low sulfur fuel in Hong Kong waters, but are they? Where's the pollution coming from? Guys who know everything.
Well, then again, I mean, like they're probably just like getting out of Hong Kong waters.
By the way, how much smarter is this making our podcast?
Yeah, right. You know what? I've just realized this is fantastic. What I'm gonna do now, when I have like, let's say, a project, I'm just gonna make it our next topic. Like,
yeah. Next time I need to find something out.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's my real father?
Exactly. Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, not me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Not me. Not me.
Peter's like, actually, there was a study done in Hong Kong, and it's this guy Frank.
Yeah, 70% of fathers in Hong Kong are domestic. It's like, what? What
Yeah.
does that even mean? All right, so we've done the weather talk, so the small talk's out of the way.
No, I have more small talk.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not done with my small talk. Don't be shutting down my small
I have
talk.
no idea, man. Right.
I watched the movie The Farewell last night.
The Farewell.
Yeah, you haven't heard
I've
about
never
this?
heard of it, no.
So it's Awkwafina,
Yeah.
who's the girl who was like the cool friend from Crazy Rich Asians.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
She's
yeah.
done another movie which is a China-focused movie,
Yeah.
and it's a really interesting idea actually. It's about a girl living in it's a true story, a girl living in New York, and migrant parents. She's a migrant actually from a very young age, and she's very close with her grandma in Beijing. Grandma gets cancer,
Mm,
gonna die really soon. Family doesn't. They're not gonna tell her
yeah.
because that's
Oh,
apparently what they do in China.
wow. So they just don't.
They don't
Say
tell
it.
them
Huh.
because
Wow.
they
Okay.
reckon
Well,
they reckon the fear kills them.
could be. I mean, like, you just all dogs go to heaven. So I guess in the same way all grandmas do as well. So let's just keep it as that.
But it's an interesting idea, like is it a caring thing? And there was a lot of interesting dialogue about, the China's focus on the family
Yeah.
and the West's focus. Like in the West, they're like, we think this would be illegal, and
yeah.
it's just a good movie, actually.
I mean, yeah, it's
I
a
thought
real
it was
gray
great.
area. I mean, like, it's really hard to argue, like, should you tell this person, are they ready for it? It's better off that you don't. It's kind of like, if you have an issue and it's like, do you need your grandmom's maybe like 99 years old, bedridden, in a half stroke, whatever. And like, you're like, I want to come out to my grandmom's. Like, do you really need to?
You want to come out to your grandma? What?
I mean, like, let's say, let's say you have to come out of the closet
I'm
and stuff.
sorry. Whoa, pump the brakes here. Do you need to tell me something? What's just
Wait
happened?
a second. Due to the lack of human interaction, my English has definitely gone down. I've just realized, I'm not talking that much nowadays. Yeah, well, I can totally understand.
It's so funny. My friends back in mainland China, who I don't know how much I contributed to their English, but when I speak to them now, I'm like, what happened to your English? Which, to
no
be fair,
practice.
like, what the fuck happened to my Mandarin?
Well,
My
yeah.
Mandarin's got bad.
Really?
Actually,
Yeah.
watching that movie, I have such a weird relationship with my time in China.
Yeah.
And I was getting pretty nostalgic. It's a movie with Chinese people in it, speaking to Chinese culture at a level that I was able to understand. And I was like,
man.
maybe I missed a couple of
I
things.
can imagine. I can totally imagine that feeling. Especially you've been away from mainland China for how long?
God, what month are we now? It's like
We're in like
12,
August.
I'm coming up to 12, man. The 31st of August. That's when I left.
So that's a year.
That's my 1 year.
Wow. Congratulations. No wonder you're feeling nostalgic.
Bro.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Whew. Well.
And the day after, so we landed on the 31st.
Yeah.
On the 1st of September.
Yeah.
So I landed on the 31st in the airport with my kids.
You didn't take the MTR train, did you, that night?
You
get beaten up otherwise.
We had stuff. We had stuff.
Okay,
We're
so
traveling.
Okay,
we're moving house.
All right.
So we didn't have all of our stuff, but we had a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
So I forked out for the taxi.
Nice.
But dude, that was when they ransacked the airport. Was the next day.
Well, actually, no. 31st August.
September 1st.
Yeah. So 31st August was when the cops decided to go do a beatdown in Prince Edward Station.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
That's
missed that one.
Oh, dude, that was insane. So that's why I was like, you didn't take the train. Whoo, good on you, man.
Oh.
Yeah, they were in the station just whacking whoever they could see.
Oh.
Yeah, and then 1st of September was when everyone's just pissed off and they went to the airport.
Just whacking people off?
Just whacking people off, coming out to grandma's, whacking people off. That's what they're doing all day, man. All right, so we got symbols
Chinese
now.
Be like, this is food.
Oh, man.
My God. All right, I take no responsibility.
Yeah, I like to just clarify that
I am not responsible. I am only responsible for the racism coming through this microphone.
Yeah, and the little audio spillage coming through my microphone as well.
Yeah.
So let's blame them as well. All right, so it's been a year since you came to Hong Kong from mainland China. Technically, you came to China from China, right? We have to say that now.
Yeah, but did we?
You know what? I'm yes.
I think in the nomenclature of people that are living here,
Yeah.
I guess mainland China is kind of an awkward thing to say.
Yeah.
Guess you could say mainland, but it really does feel like that was China and this isn't.
Yeah, it's not there. We're
It's
not
there yet.
Yeah.
Even with everything that's happened.
Yeah.
It's not there.
Yeah.
It is a different place. It feels like a different place. My mother-in-law is a Russian speaker. In fact, my wife is a Russian passport holder, same with my wife. And so we had, a grace period of my wife getting a visa figured out and my mother-in-law still having problems.
Yeah.
So I only get 2 weeks in Hong Kong. Whew. Every 2 weeks, I had to take my entire family to Shenzhen
and come back.
And come back.
Yeah.
And you cross that border, it's like We're not in Kansas
Yeah,
anymore.
true. Yeah. Because it is technically a separate region completely.
Just a different feel, you know.
Yeah.
You're like
I remember,
suddenly
yeah, because like every time I go to like let's say Lowu and everything, you get through and you just kind of go like, okay, all right, I can see like the
there
signs look a bit different.
everything's in
Everything.
there's a different
Yeah, there's a whole
jive.
vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely. Well, I mean, it's just in its own weird. Because then again, I mean, you're at the border, so you are seeing the very touristy things. Guys trying to get you for the taxis and all that kind of stuff. But I haven't. I mean, it's really strange because I haven't traveled in. I don't know when was the last time I traveled this year. I don't think I've traveled at all this year.
I traveled a little bit. I was in I traveled in December a lot, and then January I was in Australia, and then came
Oh.
back here.
Yeah, just in time. I remember you said that.
Yeah,
right?
it timed it like crazy good. Melbourne's screwed now.
Yeah, man. Whew.
Melbourne is in the
It's
toilet.
crazy, dude. I didn't want to look at the news about that. I'm like, I don't even want to know because it's gonna just scare me.
The stale cigarette smoke hits you right at the border.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a little bit of that.
Yeah, you get that. Then you're like, yep, I made it through immigration.
Yeah.
Then you're feeling good about that.
I have an observation that I don't know if will get me in trouble, but I was walking down the street the other day, and like an old guy basically just burped at me,
Okay.
and I turned around and he went, "Oh, excuse me," and I was like, "That's the difference right there."
Yeah. At least you'll do it to your face and be like, that one, right?
I was like, that to me
Yeah.
was the difference.
The action is the same. It's the consequence that is born after that
That's
that
like,
has a
it's
difference.
China, but it's not China.
Yeah. I think that's fair, man. That's a very good analysis as well.
Yeah, Melbourne's actually doing a little bit better. Tim's just saying they're down to less than 400, which sounds bad, but they were like over 800
Yeah.
for a while.
Well, I mean, again, like I said, here everyone's face masked on, so that kind of helps as well.
Do you like Melbourne? You can
Yeah.
be honest with me.
I've been to Melbourne many years each year for the festival.
I know. I mean,
love
that's
it.
why I asked.
Yeah. So I love it. I mean, the thing
the
though,
festival's great.
I love it for 3 weeks, but the
Yeah.
4th week I'm like, I gotta get out of here, man.
What is it?
the
What's
pace, man? The pace.
It's
Like,
slow, right?
It's too slow.
You're like, where is everybody?
Not even just that. It's like like when you're waiting for, let's say, the tram and everything, and the thing that gets me is like you'll start noticing small things. For example, the drivers, you'll see like the light's still green. The driver's thinking, I'm probably not gonna make it. I'm gonna slow down now. I'm like, dude, just go. The guy's slowing down. I'm like, it's still green, dude. You're messing up.
No, there's a reason for that.
Safety?
They fine like crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
if you enter the intersection
Yeah.
like even a microsecond
Yeah.
past the right time,
Yeah.
you get mailed a big
Well,
fine.
I think so. Those are the small
that's
things.
that's the reason they do that.
All right, good, well defended. Next complaint.
Yeah, I'm like, bring it on, bitch. Get your fucking-
That was great. What's wrong with you?
Get your chipmunk voice
No, I mean,
over
like,
here.
I think it's just the general pacing. I would say it's after a while the small thing, the minute here, the minute there that I lose.
Well, it's also because it's not such a big population, and it's actually improved a lot since I left. But like the public transportation, like what you get used to here,
Yeah. Oh no, here is insane. It's
it
like
just
3 minutes is like, come on, let's go.
dude, it would be 20 minutes to wait for a train would be normal.
Yeah. I remember like we would go to the what was it, Southern Cross Station, and then
Yeah.
we look at the trains going like 15 minutes. I'm
Oh,
like,
bro, Southern Cross Station has them all the time.
yeah.
I'm talking about like the
Oh,
other,
the other
end.
station.
Where are you
Oh,
going?
I've done that, man. I've actually been to some because like the first time I was there, I was like, you know what? I have an hour to kill. I'm gonna go take a train, go to a random stop, walk around, come back. Oh,
God, I wish I could have shown you Melbourne. I know we were
Oh.
there at the same time, but we just both.
yeah, busy with shows and get stuff
Yeah,
going
it's
on.
just,
Yeah.
it's just a wild time.
Yeah, I mean, we actually traveled quite a lot, me and the other comedians, because like they would rent.
I know you hated it.
Yeah, no. I wasn't impressed by it. I wouldn't go to hatred. It was
Vivek likes the buses in mainland that run through red lights. That's it, everybody. It's great. We're dealing with a traffic offender here.
Hey man, let me tell you this: in Hong Kong, you live here long enough, you take the minibus, and like they've got the little speed sign things that they have a sign that says how fast you're going. And let me tell you this: pretty much everyone in the minibus, while it's like beeping away, saying it's going too fast for it's like 88, 89, 90, is like doot, keeps beeping. Everyone's just going like, I love this driver. That's a good guy. This is my man.
Home slightly earlier.
Yeah, this is fantastic. I mean, like he knows what he's doing, right?
Australia's crazy, man. If you're like a kilometer or two over,
Yeah.
they'll just
I
mail
would
you
say
fine.
that's the first thing I learned when I went to the Melbourne Comedy Festival the first time. The amount of paperwork I had to do to get visas and everything. I was
Australians
like,
are
"What?"
anal rule followers.
Oh my god! Like it was respectful, but at the same time, I was like, this is too much now. Like now you're just like, you don't need this information, and it's like,
dude,
you want to know this and that.
like living in Shanghai was the dream.
Yeah, it was easy. Like, can I get
Back
this?
back
Yeah.
then, now it's like so well
Well,
policed, but
yeah.
like there was a period of time I was like, they're like, you can literally do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I remember because like even when I used to go to Kuala Lumpur to do shows, they needed some information from me for the visas and everything, and it was just simple, but done. Here
Yeah.
it's like we want everything. Like, do you have this? Have you ever been this? Do you have seeds? I'm like, well, what? Like, what do you care if I'm going to bring a bag of seeds? No, are you going to plant them? No, it's the chia seeds. I need it for my fiber. We can't do that stuff.
I remember my Chinese girlfriend was we went to Thailand.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. We were like landing and she was like, oh God, it was so hard for me to get a visa. I was like, we need a visa for Thailand? And I literally went to immigration, not sure if I needed a visa or not. And I'd been there before. I was like trying to remember if I'd gotten one.
Yeah.
And I just gave him my passport stamp. It was like, oh, it's Australian passport.
Yeah.
And she was saying, they had to, this is her point of view, not mine.
Let me guess. No one could fill out the forms correctly. So this is
no, but they were saying like she needs to prove her financial position. She's like, I'm from China. So why would a Chinese person need to go to your poor country?
To launder money or whatever. Yeah.
Like, actually, no. You know what? That did happen in Thailand, but it was the Philippines.
Yeah,
it was the Philippines that she was saying that.
Oh man.
And I was like, I don't know.
That's so weird.
Why
man.
don't you just have a better passport?
Yeah. I mean, think about your life. I mean, it was your choice, really. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, so the travel part and like I said, traveling and the Melbourne, I liked it. Like I said, for the first 3 weeks, I'm cool. By the fourth week, I'm like, I can't do this, man. Like it would just wear upon you. For example, like when I first went to Melbourne, I'm like, wow, blue sky, that's great. Ooh, space on the streets, people are so nice. Hey, how you doing today? I'm like,
did you drink coffee?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, Melbourne, I was drinking a lot of coffee.
Ooh, how good's a coffee?
Yeah, that's very good coffee, right? So I would do like coffee every single day, and I'm like, oh, coffee's pretty cheap, it's reasonable, it's great, tastes good, all that stuff. I was enjoying it,
and it isn't cheap. It's just that the coffee in Hong Kong is
crazy,
so expensive.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's ridiculous,
dude. I paid $20 Australian for coffee here one time.
20 Australian. Oh wow!
Was like what, 100 Hong Kong dollars?
Yeah, like hand pour. Was
Not,
like the
dude,
drip?
You know what it was? So in my defense,
yes.
Just arrived. Got a meeting with some girl from the media. She takes us to the Mandarin Oriental.
Oh, Mandarin.
I don't know.
Well, oh my God.
Yeah, but
dude.
like it wouldn't cost you that much.
And it wasn't even good coffee, right? It was
pretty. Dude, it was terrible coffee.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I've been to these kinds of places.
And she got a juice. Dude, I paid like $40 Australian.
Yeah.
$40 Australian.
Yeah.
I used to get paid $10 an hour.
Yeah. And you're like,
and I got a coffee and her juice.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
And I was like, I'll get this. And she's like, oh, nice. And I didn't know the bill. And I was
You're like,
yeah. Mandarin Oriental, that was. Tim's asking.
And that's the thing. What I've learned in life is that especially when it comes to coffee, just because you're in a high classy place doesn't mean they know how to make a nice cup of coffee. Like,
really? No. That's if you are in Australia and you go to a high classy place, you'll get a good one. Here, the only place you'll get a good coffee is in coffee shops.
Yeah.
That are
only do
really
coffee.
good at coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's it. No, there is no hotel in this city that makes a good coffee.
Exactly. That's why even when I go from meetings and stuff, I'm like, you know what? Just go with the juice because that's all you got to do. Put it in a blender. Let the blender do the work for you.
Tim said he paid $15. Is that $15 Australian? I'm assuming in Abu Dhabi, and it had gold flakes sprinkled all over it.
Oh, it's one of those.
But you got gold.
Yeah, I mean, like
I feel like that doesn't gold.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Is that chewy?
Well, it's definitely a mineral that your body could probably absorb and use. I mean, like it's good for nails. I heard.
Anyway, so the reason I was kind of getting into I shitted gold like a Lannister. I feel like what's that in Game of Thrones?
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
I don't know. Did you watch that?
I watched it for a while, then I stopped.
I didn't watch it.
It was taking too long. 1 hour an episode. I'm like, this is gonna hurt.
I can't watch much fiction.
Really? You have to see everything to be real for you?
I'm like documentaries all day.
What if I told you Game of Thrones was real?
Then I would watch it.
Well, it's real then.
All right, I'm downloading it now.
You need everything.
I love that. I was watching.
You can't do fiction? Wow.
I just can't. It doesn't engage me.
You're trying to be what? You're like, I keep it real.
No,
I keep it real.
No, I'm being like, I just don't get engaged.
Okay, because you're like,
I'm just reading this like some fucking guy just made this up.
Yeah. Okay, I can understand. No, I
can get hooked in. I can get hooked into a biography or something because I'm learning about something that's happened.
Dude, you need to watch. You know that documentary, The Last Dance?
Oh my God, I loved it.
Yeah. Oh, I watched.
No.
I was like, oh my God,
this devoured that.
Yeah, dude, me too. I was like, oh wow, this is good.
No, that's my speed. That's like totally my wheelhouse.
Same here,
And
same
I
here.
never watch. So we're talking about the Michael Jordan Bulls
Documentary.
documentary.
That's
I
Chicago
would
Bulls
never
game.
watch a basketball game.
Yeah.
Not in a million years.
Oh man, I
But
was
you know
a big
what?
fan.
Started watching the highlights now.
Yeah, just to see, right? Because you're like, oh, this
Well,
is
you kind
good.
of get it, and I sort of understood. What I didn't understand about basketball is how the plays work and
Yeah,
how, because they're so fast.
yeah.
You know, and it's like,
I guess basketball is too difficult for the hiking man.
oh,
I can scuba
fuck off. You
dive.
can't play basketball.
I can let gravity pull me into the
Bro,
water,
bro.
but I can't throw a ball into a net. Oh,
First of all,
I
I
don't
will
get it.
definitely beat you at basketball. Number one.
So you hit the ball to the floor and it bounces back. Why?
Get out of town. You want to play me on ball sports? I will bury you. No way. What are you talking about? What is this?
Look. You get your game
This
controller. I
city
get my
boy.
game controller. We will play basketball.
Yeah. I had
my
a
thumbs
run.
will kick your ass. No,
The only thing I ever played was like Tony Hawk's. I did.
skateboarding. Yeah.
Like 64.
Yeah, way back, man.
I did FIFA.
Oh, that was terrible.
I guess that was an Xbox, maybe.
It was all over. Yeah, FIFA was everywhere.
I think that was all I really did.
Oh,
but
okay.
I was pretty good at Tony Hawk's.
Well, I'll give you a little surprise. I used to actually play basketball in my secondary school, and I was actually on the swim team.
You're on the swim team.
Yeah, man, look at this guy.
I feel like in Hong Kong, you just have to know where the pool is.
Yeah, and
get
just
in the
swim
swim
like
team.
that's fine.
Dude, to get in the swim team in Australia, you have to be at least 50% fish. Like you have to have one parent that
Yeah.
is
A
that
mermaid.
breathes underwater.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I mean, I did my sports when I needed to do them. Now I'm like, I'm good. So anyway, all right. So forget basketball, forget all that stuff. You know.
Well, this is all connected. So
Yeah.
my point of saying this, so I've lived in Hong Kong for more COVID than non-COVID.
yeah.
And I've had several instances since I've been here where my family have literally called me up and said, you should leave.
Yeah.
You
From what
should
the
leave."
news that they've read, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be like little, the dumpsters on fire. You got to leave. That kind of news. Yeah,
But they've always said stuff like that. Sorry, I've got a bit of indigestion because I'm drinking a can of Coke. We're not sponsored by Coke unless someone wants to sponsor us. But yeah, like they've frequently given me advice to leave wherever I was, and I've just said to them over the years, I'm like, how long do I have to be here before you give me the credibility that I'm
Yeah.
able to pass that judgment?
But they've never been here.
They've been here, but
Well,
not when it was
yeah,
bad. Not when there was
okay,
a problem.
yeah,
And I
okay.
get it.
Yeah.
It's not unkind.
It's a
Like,
worry. I get a
you
family.
see,
Yeah.
You see stuff in the street and you think the whole city's burning down.
Yeah.
I've never felt like leaving. And you know what? On the contrary, if I came here, like asking me the question, what would make you leave?
Yeah.
I came here planning to leave. That's the difference between you and me.
Yeah.
Like that's a big difference.
Yeah.
First of all, I came here.
Yeah.
Second of all, I came here on a pretty like
On work.
not that long-term timeline.
Yeah.
And since coming here, I've been like, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could stay long. Like I
have no
would stay
intention-
longer
yeah.
if things go well.
Yeah.
But I love the city. I
Yeah.
love this
I
city.
think pretty much everyone had that issue. Like a lot of people say, I came here thinking of 6 months and it's been 6 years already. There's a lot of stories I hear that, it's like,
Well, mine's different though, because I would have stayed here longer, but my assumption was that things will go bad within 10 years.
yeah.
And
Well,
I don't know if that assumption's been.
It's very weird. Every day is like a new story now, especially over here.
And,
right?
and if I could say anything, it seems to me that whatever timeline I thought that would play out over seems
Yeah.
to be shortening every day.
yeah, who knows, man? Honestly,
Like, where I thought we'd be in 10 years, it seems like we're going to be in like
we're like, this
2
is
years.
year 6. Yeah, we're already in year 6 now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, honestly, it's to me, it's just like this is a historical moment to be living in.
But anywhere in the world is a historical moment.
Well, yeah,
right
yeah, but
now.
I mean, like the idea that we're actually experiencing what's going on in Hong Kong right now, like,
yeah,
whoa,
dude,
I
the
was
stuff that
there.
we've seen.
Yeah, man.
Like between the huge
The last
protests,
year. Yeah, just
in
in a year's time, the amount that has changed / the things that have happened and things. I mean, in a year, we've had, like I said, the airport people going like protesting at the airports and stuff.
So
We've had
that 2-week period
Yeah.
when they had like the battle at the
oh,
universities.
university.
And
Yeah,
it got wild in the streets then.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
dude.
when, like, prior to that 1-2 week period, like if there was a protest, they'd be like, okay, the protest is gonna be here. You
yeah,
don't want to see the protest, you don't want the trouble, you don't go
Yeah,
here.
yeah, you
and it's
go-
time.
yeah,
Don't be
yeah,
at Causeway Bay, Saturday, 2:30
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But there was a 2-week period
Yeah,
where it was just popping
it was
up.
tense.
We
Dude.
got hit by pepper spray
Yeah.
or whatever, the tear gas.
yeah.
Just coming out of the comedy club at like
Yeah.
4 p.m. on a Thursday.
Yeah.
And you couldn't avoid it at that time. I remember taking
Yeah.
the kids to the MTR in
Yeah.
like Taiku's pretty friggin' tame.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's not
still-
even Taiko Shing, like Cornhill.
They did it right. They tear gas Taiku as well, right?
Taiko Shing was more active,
Yeah.
but like Cornhill is like even more residential.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like
Deeper
a bit
in,
further
yeah.
away. It was a bit further up the hill, you know.
Yeah.
And then there were guys with masks on, they're putting the bricks all over the
Yeah,
roads,
yeah,
and I was
yeah,
like, man, there was nowhere to hide in the
Yeah,
city if you're
yeah.
outside.
No, it was we were getting pushed to that level, man. I mean, we were really getting pushed to a point like, dude, what do you want me to do? I'm trying to be peaceful, but you just won't listen. But yeah, so a lot has happened.
So
But
Nick is just saying Hong Kong is clearly in crisis, but this is the best time to start a new career. Everything is cheaper, and Hong Kong has great potential becoming a stand-up comedy city. What do you think about that statement?
Okay, so this is that talk of like, okay, if you look at it from an investor point of view, when the market is down and everyone's running away, that's the best time to invest. I mean, that's the idea, right? Do you have the guts to do it? In theory, right?
Well, maybe.
Well,
being contrarian
Yeah.
is
But
good for
I've
investors.
always also been the idea that you have to have that one really dark / weird moment where everything is unstable to recreate a new stability. So
I
like-
like that.
right, I mean, it's the idea that you have it's kind of like saying, you have to go through like hardship to come out and be like, whoa, I'm a different person now. You go through the training, you go through all that pain on stage, and then you come out as like, I'm a stronger person, that kind of a deal.
It's like your attempt to swim.
Yeah, exactly. My attempt to not sink. Hey, I can swim.
Your
I just
time
choose
in the
not
swim
to.
team.
Right? There's a very big difference. I can hike. I just choose not to. All right. Let's be very clear on that matter. It's not a matter of
You're
like,
like
hey,
my
you
wife.
can't
My
do it.
wife says she can swim, but like when she's sort of swimming,
Yeah.
I'm like, are you drowning?
Yeah.
Like,
Why are you slapping the water?
She doesn't. That's
Why are you slapping
I'm
the
like,
water?
She can swim, but she doesn't look like she's okay with
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
It's like she's moving and splashing. You're like, could you choose one?
Yeah.
I know the feeling. I know. I've had like a lot of my relatives as well who can't really swim, but they go swimming all the time. I'm like, you're wasting your time, dude. Like the inefficiency of you going from one side to the other. I'm like, this is painful to watch.
Dude, swimming's good. A good way to get fit.
Oh, definitely.
But going back to that point though, like Nick's saying Vivek swims the same way a rock can swim. There you go.
Oh, can you
wait,
smell?
Do you mean a
Dwayne the Rock
That's
Johnson?
what I was
Damn
going to
right.
say. We're talking
Yeah,
about Dwayne
damn
Johnson.
right. Can you smell what the Rock is swimming?
So Hong Kong has great potential to become a stand-up city. There's a stand-up comedy city. There's no
oh, for
question
sure.
about
It's
that.
it's crazy enough for that.
It's been friggin' hot
Yeah.
even this year. But
Yeah.
the challenge that we face and getting to the question of what would make me leave.
Yeah.
One of the big things for me,
Yeah.
like it's black and white.
Yeah.
Is censorship.
Oh, I knew it. I knew you'd say that.
And
I knew
but let
Fair
me
enough. No, I fully
but
agree with
let me
that.
put a caveat to that.
Yeah.
I will actually censor a little bit and have already this year.
Yeah.
For most of the time I lived in China, the censorship was don't talk about Tiananmen, don't talk about Tibet, and don't talk about Taiwan.
No idea what you're referring to.
Yeah, I do. Whether that's because they can't. Those words got beeped out. As they're coming.
Again, no idea what you're referring to.
Yeah, and so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I don't write that many jokes about Tiananmen Square.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a couple.
Well,
but,
so yeah.
but I don't write that many about him, and so I'm like, okay, like that's to me, that's like that's a cultural choice. I don't think it's a lot of countries have those kind of restrictions. Singapore has those kind of
Yeah,
restrictions.
you can't talk about the king in Thailand.
KL, yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
countries have those kind of restrictions. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
What I'm not okay with is what it became after that, which was just sporadic cutting out of anything. There was a script that I submitted once that for Eliza Schlesinger, we were looking at bringing her in. They said she can't say that she's Jewish. They said, just even weird, like even just talking about wearing sexy clothing, like just random
Really?
stuff, yeah, they just cut out tons.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not willing to live in a place like that.
Yeah. That's like too much. That's just unnecessary censorship, right? So if you ask me, the censorship thing here in Hong Kong, we've actually been very lucky. I remember having an interview with, I think, the New York Times or whatever. They asked, so how's the censorship and everything? And I was jokingly saying, well, the scene is too small for the government to care. in Hong
What
Kong.
year was that?
I would say 4 years ago.
Oh, I remember it.
Yeah, right. It's an article. I remember.
Yeah, I
like-
remember it because they put Storm in it.
Yeah. That
And then
article.
they
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
mention us at all.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. So like, we're contrasting myself and Storm and the idea of like censorship in basically
Yeah.
China and Hong Kong. And I remember saying that to her, and I was like, well, A, it's too small for them to care, and B, you know what? They don't care. What can you do?
I remember running the comedy club in Shanghai, and the landlord was starting to sniff around about whether we'd have issues with the Cultural Bureau, but it was still pretty open at that time.
Yeah.
And his advice to me was, he said, "Don't be too popular." And I'm like, that's the opposite of what we're trying to do here.
Yeah. So see, that's the thing I learned in life is that
That's like going up to Michael Jordan and being like, "Hey,
yeah.
don't shoot too many goals."
Yeah, exactly. Let's
By the
tone
way,
it down.
I'm comparing myself to Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
which I
that's
didn't mean to,
okay.
but you get the
Yeah,
analogy.
exactly.
No,
Yeah,
you're
I
taking
mean-
it to the extreme.
I mean, like the fact that you said don't shoot so many goals for basketball already tells me you know nothing about basketball. Goals, like who's doing goals? Anyway, whatever. So,
Points, I don't know. To Turner, I have this running thing where
Yeah.
I just, whenever I make sports references,
Yeah.
I get them wrong because I don't watch enough sports.
yeah. I would like to
I'm like,
announce.
you know, when Michael Jordan knocks it out of the park, you know,
yeah, you're like
with a hole in one,
well,
I believe.
exactly. Technically, that actually is correct. So, yeah, the censorship. So for myself, what I find is that I don't like the idea that you can't say stuff. However, I have my own standards. Like, for example, I don't like dirty jokes, right? That's not my writing. I enjoy listening to them, but I'm not a dirty joke writer. So does that mean I, automatically censor myself? It's more like that's just not my style or my taste. So therefore, I don't write that. Okay. Secondly, am I all about politics? I'm not a big politics comedian. So I'm not like all day, Louis Blacking it and stuff like that. So I'm not censoring. I'm just not interested in that angle.
And you've also steered pretty clear of topics that are funny. No.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my third point. And yet, for some reason, the audience disagree.
Yeah.
Like, that's funny. I'm like, really? I've been really avoiding this. Like, what can I do to stop this
That's an
streak?
interesting point. So what do you think about censorship? How would it affect your...
So when they require me to submit scripts in Hong
Oh,
Kong.
mate, nah, not doing that.
Yeah.
No more scripts.
Like, so I've done stuff like that for, let's say, corporate events way back when I was younger and less
Sure,
popular.
TV, fine.
Yeah, all that stuff, right?
No
But I'm saying
worries.
just in general shows, I'm like, no, not happening, right? So, if like, for example, I've had actually companies where they hire me for, let's say, to write a comedy show, whatever, for the internal stuff or for an ad or whatever, and obviously the back and forth of this, do you like that? Do you like this? And then they kill all the jokes, and the final product was terrible every time.
Yeah,
Every single time.
been there.
Yeah, right? But then I would say this generally, like if you were told that, yeah, you need to submit a script each time to perform, that to me is a censorship I can't accept. If you told me, hey, don't talk about this topic, I can still live with that. I'm like, oh, fine. I'm dynamic. I can work around it and everything. But like, if you say like, I need to know every single thing you're gonna say, I'm like, no, that doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I know, and I just think you kind of know, like, there's a workable amount that they can restrict you on.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, if you want to say the censorship, it should be quite clear, as in like, okay, I see what I can't touch, so we know, yeah, you're not going to be saying that. It's like TV, right? You know what you can and cannot say.
Yeah,
make it clear. I can work with you. So that's how I always say I like to strike a balance. I don't want to be like, no,
you said, and this did kind of get put on us, but if they said you can't criticize the Carrie Lam,
Yeah,
or whatever, I'd be like,
yeah,
fine, all right.
yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. If you told me black and white, you can't talk about her, I'd be like, okay, I mean. That kind of stuff, it's understandable. Like you have a reason behind it.
Yeah, I don't agree with it.
You know, like,
but I get it's not unfair, and it allows a space in which the stand-up can still exist.
Yeah. So I put it this way: it's the whole Chris Rock thing of like, I do not agree, but I understand. Like I don't agree with the idea that we can't talk about, but I can understand where you're coming from. So therefore, I can work around it, right? So you give me a clearer thing, like don't talk about this. Like I said, when I went to Bangkok, they were like, okay, dude, whatever you want to do not even mention or even joke about the king. I'm like, fine, no problem. I mean, I can totally see the reason behind that, and fair, we'll work around that. But if you just said, hey, just don't talk about the color green, I'd be curious, like, why? Oh, it's sensitive color. What happened? I need to know the history behind it. Like, you can't just stop.
Well, I mean, yellow and blue.
Well, exactly, right? So
you're like, boy, how could green be a problem? Meanwhile, yellow and blue, exactly, a freaking problem.
That damn combination color.
Yeah.
Excuse me again.
Peter's asking, what about if the comedy you consumed was censored? I just don't think we live in a world where that's a risk anymore.
Well, I mean, you mean like beeping?
I mean, it could only be censored if I didn't have access to the outside world's internet.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that would also mean I can't communicate with my family, or I'm not going to be here at that point.
So you mean basically
even
like,
with China at its worst,
so
I
think
could
what
still
he's
access
asking,
unfettered internet. Even
would you be okay with a world where you can't access all that plethora of comedy on TikTok?
So I think he's qualifying the question. He's saying if there was a Great Firewall, if the Great Firewall was in Hong Kong,
oh my god, dude,
it's that
would be one reason.
It's not a deal breaker for me.
I mean,
it's not nice. The worst thing about the firewall is not that your internet is blocked. It's that the way in which you have to use it
Yeah, you
means
have to work
that you
on
have
VPNs and stuff,
crappy
right?
internet.
Yeah, it's just, dude, you know what? When I moved, literally the first thing I do, and I kid you not, is check what is the internet speed of that location.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's the
I'm
first
not. I'm
thing
on no level surprised about that.
Like I just go like, is this fiber?
I'm
If there's
like,
no
where's the
fi-
nearest hiking trail?
Yeah,
You're like, I
like-
need to watch more porn.
I
I
need
need 4K porn.
exactly, not even more. I just need a more resolution of it.
Great question from Tim Choi. Was VPN plus Great Wall as slow as internet? Honest answer, at times.
Yeah,
At times, the Aussie internet was as bad.
yeah,
And Aussie internet, they're rolling out this NBN, the National Broadband Network,
yeah.
which I think it will improve. But
Yeah.
the Australian internet, I was shocked how bad the internet was.
Oh,
at my
I remember
parents'
when I
place.
was. Yeah, that's another thing. See, that's why the
Sucked.
fourth week in Melbourne, I'm
Dude,
like, I can't do it. I
internet
can't do
in-
it.
I don't know if I can leave Hong Kong. The internet is so good in Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's crazy fast,
It's
right?
really fast.
Yeah,
And, like
dude.
if I ever having trouble getting internet, like on my computer, just tether off my phone. The
Yeah,
phone internet
it's
is
insanely
is
fast.
blasting
Yeah.
fast.
So that's what I mean. Like these kinds of things you get used to, and when you suddenly get popped or stopped that you can't do it, you're like, whoa.
I hate to admit it, but it really affects your quality of life.
Oh, for sure. Like now you don't even think twice. You're like, I'll just download it. Let's get that. You know?
Last night we want to watch that movie.
Yeah.
Well, it's not on Netflix. It took me 10 minutes to find it and download it.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, but like the idea
I'm
is,
downloading it illegally.
I don't. Again, I do not.
Is that a
agree-
crime in this city?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't even know. Why are you
No,
winking at
so
me?
that was one thing for
5G will help a lot. Yeah. So 5G is going to change.
me. Ooh, sensitive topic. 5G. Ooh.
Is it?
Yeah, dude, the whole Huawei thing, man. The whole 5G network that I was trying to get Huawei to build. and
Nah, but
everything.
I think that's to do. I don't know how it works, but Telstra
Yeah.
basically already has their 5G network.
Yeah.
And they're the biggest mobile phone operator.
Yeah.
Like they've got 18 million subscribers,
Yeah.
which is more than the second and third biggest
Oh, competitors.
mobile. Yeah. So
Oh.
they're going to have 5G.
Okay, well, I mean, 5G is going to happen one way. It's whether who builds a network.
The home
right?
broadband router is likely already Huawei in Hong Kong, says Peter.
That's right. I checked already. The router that, like for example, PCW gives you is a Huawei little box, so you have to go through one of the Huawei.
I
things.
just assume I can't hide what I'm doing.
That's okay. I let people. I'm fine with it. I don't even use
So,
it.
Sorry, you finish.
No, I'm saying like when I'm like watching my porn, I don't use a private tab in my browser.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, I have kids.
I'm like, this is my computer. What am I trying to hide?
Bro, I was at my a girl I was dating when I was at university. I went to her family house and they had like a computer, like a family computer in the living
Yeah.
room. And
Oh,
I was looking up something innocent, typed in www.p
Yeah.
and it came up Pornhub search rape.
Oh
their
my
family computer, I
god!
was like,
Wow.
But that was pre.
Does she have a brother at least? Like
No, it was her brother. Yeah.
Okay,
It was
phew, that's
100%.
even better. I was like, for that, she's like, yeah, I just does.
It was 100%. It was one of her brothers.
Oh man.
I don't know. It could have been her dad.
So okay, so Great Firewall to myself would be an issue. I would definitely strongly consider going like, okay, I'm gonna start thinking about like, do I still want to be here? Like for me, honestly, access to information is really important.
Yeah, well, I would even go one further and say that one of the things that is definitely a problem in mainland China is what you can say in private messaging.
Yeah, because you're technically being monitored, technically, right?
No, it's not technical. You literally
Are being.
bro, like
Yeah.
I've seen messages deleted in real time in WeChat chat windows. For real.
That's
We
crazy.
had one in the podcast group in
Yeah.
WeChat where Muhammad posted. So it's important that I say this, but it's hard for me to enunciate how loose the connection was that this was a sensitive item.
Yeah.
But basically, there was a DJ that was playing China.
Yeah.
And he liked on Twitter. Do you remember that South Park did that China episode? And then
Abandoned
they put up
China?
their apology.
Yeah. Oh
That
yeah.
was
yeah,
super
yeah, yeah,
funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this DJ liked the apology and then
Oh.
got banned from China for liking the apology on Twitter.
Wow.
So he did a tweet saying, I've been banned because I liked a tweet. Muhammad sent a screenshot of that tweet
Yeah.
and it got removed from the group in real time. And he kept talking about it. And everyone's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he sent me a screenshot
Yeah.
and he was like, I'm like, that's been removed. It got removed when you posted it.
Yeah. Wow.
And he took the screenshot, you know.
Wow, that is crazy.
So that
the-
to me is a line where like if I can't like I get that I can't make public statements about the government or whatever. But if I can't talk comfortably about my life and the things that are being thrust upon me in the city,
Yeah.
be they political or not,
Yeah.
I'm not choosing to talk about it. If they're being
Yeah.
thrust on me, and
Yeah.
I can't talk in private to my friends about them.
Yeah.
If someone comes and knocks on my door, if I get any consequences for that, I'm out. That's it for me. I'm like,
All right.
I can't live in that environment.
Yeah.
That's my line.
So I think
that's
it's
a
more
hard line for
Yeah.
me.
So I think it's more like the lifestyle that is going to affect us, our choice of staying or not, versus the actual, like, facilities or, services and stuff in general. I would say it's more like I said, the idea that we should be free to discuss or talk about this stuff.
You can't live like that. Where
Yeah.
I don't want to have my mind censored.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens.
Yeah.
Is you stop thinking about these important things and understanding their significance because you're not allowed to talk
Basically-
about them in any environment. Tim is asking if we were notified if it's removed. No, but we've found lots of other things that got removed.
So I'll put it this way: if I would want to leave,
Here we
Hong
go. Someone's saying, I've got several WeChat stickers of she, but none of my friends can receive any when I send them. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
No,
yeah.
what a surprise.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll put it this way: if basically, my life in Hong Kong felt like a corporate gig, where everything I see, I'm like, okay, I can't say that. Oh, I
No,
better be
but
careful of that. Then I'm
that's
yeah,
like
I don't
that's
wanna
it.
do that.
That's not a good.
Yeah.
I'm like
There's no point.
I'm like China. Fucking have your thing.
Yeah.
I'm not in
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah,
That's my hard line.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah.
And I'm really just wheeling around to get the guns on you because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
very curious because you said to me recently
Yeah, that I had thoughts
that
about it,
you've
right?
had thoughts about
Yeah.
leaving, which to me was shocking.
Yeah, because you're
'Cause
like,
you
yeah,
are Hong Kong.
yeah, exactly.
To me, you're the fucking face of Hong Kong.
So this is why I say it's like week by week, day by day, right? Every day you got new news happening. This is suddenly changing. For example, now the government's got the whole, voluntary medical checks and stuff like that. And you're like, well, this is.
You're talking about the COVID?
Yeah, the COVID stuff. And it's basically every day you get a new piece of information. You're like, whoa, another rule has been bent.
Well, just clarify what you're saying there. So they've offered free testing for everyone in the city.
Yes. And basically what they've done is that the testing is from, again, what I've read and the information I've read with my high-speed internet that I had to enjoy in my place. Basically, the services will be provided by one of the Chinese companies that they've allowed to come into Hong Kong without any sort of registration. You get it? So it's like really weird. It's like, wait, so you bent all these rules to allow them to set up shop here to do this testing that you claim we need their help from. So then they're saying, okay, so we want to offer this to all of Hong Kong. Now, first of all, you've lost trust in the government and you're thinking like, I'm not going to go anywhere close to this service because who knows what they're going to do with my information, right? Now, you might say, oh, they won't do anything. We'll discard it. I'm like, you know what? I've lost all trust in you and I don't believe you will stick to your word. So therefore, things like that, you're like, if that can happen, what's going to happen tomorrow? You get it? What other rule are they going to bend to allow, this inequality of services? So it's Animal Farm. All animals are equal, except some animals are more equal than others. Like, how do these guys get to establish shop here in Hong Kong without registering or going through the proper procedures? It's like saying, you want to bring a comedian and you have to go through all this visa work.
Oh,
whereas
yeah.
this next comedy club, yeah, they can bring anyone down. It's fine.
That's what happened to Turner.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened to Turner.
Yeah, and you
he was
pissed,
running
right?
the ice cream company and they made them lose all this money. They had to create a whole license that they got for their ice cream trucks.
Yeah.
And then someone copied their ice cream trucks, parked it next to them, completely unlicensed.
Yeah.
And he asked them to find the unlicensed trucks
Yeah.
that were parking next to his trucks.
Yeah.
They just started finding his trucks, which
Yeah.
had a license.
And there you go. That's exactly what's happening. You get it? So that's actually why I'm thinking like, whoa, this is not good, dude. This is like unfair treatment completely.
Tim's saying, but our dear leader Lamb promised that our data will be protected. I'm sorry, I can't see that message. It's been deleted.
Oh, the words she says.
So what do you think would be like? You'd look at it and go, that's it.
I would say basically number one, when all the services are government controlled. So let's say, for example, basically if it becomes a communist place, as in like the government now owns everything. If they tell me like, yeah, we own your flat technically as well.
I don't think that would ever happen.
I don't think so as well. But then again, I mean, you would have
because
never.
that's not their strategy in mainland China,
Well, again, today it's not. Tomorrow, like I said, I mean,
well,
1
no,
year ago.
I don't think it would ever be. And the reason I say that is because they don't need it. The way that the party maintains control, it's in a great book called The Party by Richard McGregor, is that they have a division called CMO in English, which is basically like the HR department for the whole country.
Yeah.
And they will allocate party members to senior positions of private companies. So they
So
have
basically, they have that
so that there's no
influence.
real difference in influence between an SEO and a private company because key positions of power are held
Exactly.
by
So that's my
CCP
point.
members.
So it's kind of like what they've done with Hong Kong U. They've got the board of directors to be all their guys, so they have control over Hong Kong U. You get it? So by doing that, Hong Kong U is technically independent, but it's controlled by our guys.
Okay, so you're not saying that it's like on the face of it is part of
No,
the government, but you when you see that the control's been lost,
yeah. Then you go like,
in all
okay,
services,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, when
So
you're like,
what else are you talking about?
well, I mean, generally, like
Universities?
for example, medical. If like the hospital authorities and everything were like run by, let's say the
Public hospitals aren't run by the government.
well, they are, but like the board and everything is still Hong Kongers. If later on they kind of infiltrated more where there are more, you could say the CCP party people taking care of it, where they make decisions, and then it's the idea that they're basically slowly seeping into our system that's supposed to be technically independent. It's like the judiciary system here. It's supposed to be independent, but it's clearly not anymore now. There are more and more CCP influenced judges. So a lot, like for example, like the guy who chopped up people gets told by the judge, like, well, I could totally understand why he'd do that. It's like, what? It's like, well, you guys pissed him off. What? Yeah, with your posters, about the anti-protest posters. That's why he was upset. That's why he chopped you guys. I'm sorry, what? And that was from a judge.
This happened.
Yeah, dude. And so the judge actually said these
I
words.
was like, this is kind of a weird example that you've
But I'm
made
saying
up.
this is the
that
judge was
happened.
kind of more sympathetic to the guy who had the knife, who chopped up kids in a tunnel.
There's a technical reason or a technical explanation for when it becomes problematic because judges actually have things that they're supposed to adhere to
Yeah.
and like priorities.
Yeah.
And in the West, the number one is justice.
Yes.
So whether they're doing a good job or not,
Yeah.
like even before you get to the how effective or how
The
good the
personal stuff,
judges
yeah.
are, there's actually the structure of their job.
Yeah.
And in China, in mainland China, justice is like the seventh thing.
Yeah. So
The
that's what I'm
priority
saying.
number one, I can't remember. I've looked it up. It was like number one is like the president, number two is like the party.
Yeah.
And there's all of these priorities that have to be met in their
Yeah.
judgment
Yeah.
before
So
they get to justice.
So that's
right?
what I mean. It's like saying, okay, I'll put it this way. I thought about it where it's like Hong Kong is a comedy club, right? And then you want to do your gigs and everything. Now the booker,
This is a theoretical.
theoretical, yeah. I mean,
Clearly
it is a
it's-
joke.
Clearly, this is the truth.
Yeah.
The
So
friggin'
like
club that never opens.
You do you pay your dues and everything. You do your open mics and everything, and then the booker picks comedians not on quality of stage performance, but on like, hey, do I like you? Are you my race? And you're like, dude, this is terrible. I don't want to be in this club anymore.
It's also most comedy clubs.
Well, yeah, but my point is that's still a comedy club. But I'm saying the power of Hong Kong is that it's not supposed to be like that. You get it? But when it does turn, it's kind of like saying the previous comedy club I used to go to all the time. It was very biased. If I like you, you get a lot of stage time. You get a headliner spots. I'm like, well, that's not really healthy for the scene. You get it?
Yeah. Well,
So-
you gotta have your meritocracy structured properly.
Exactly. So you have a lot of those issues. So I'm saying if it came to that, where it's all about, I mean, we all know the who knows who kind of effect, the networking effect what we have in general life. But I'm saying if that became the only way that, you pledge allegiance to this or you're loyal to this and you get everything, I'm like, well, then the game's no fun anymore. Like I said, it's like the comic club, same deal. If you showed loyalty, you gain a lot of stage time. And I'm like, well, that's no fun.
It's not fair.
It's not fair and it's no fun for the craft. You get it?
Yeah.
The whole craft suffers because now you just got guys who are not good, but just your friend.
Are you ever concerned about like the uncertainty in the new law and stuff like that
Yeah.
has, I think, been structured, something I'm very familiar with. It's been structured to foment self-censorship.
Yeah. So it's ambiguous, right? You're not really
So
sure.
people are really erring on the side of caution.
Yeah.
And I would say that some of the stuff you're doing doesn't seem to err on the side of caution.
Yeah. Well, so that's the thing is that if we start all self-censoring, then you lose every little effort you've done. It's kind of like saying, again, coming back to comedy club in general for myself. So when I first started comedy, I was managed and everything, right? So I was managed about 4 years. And then after that, I kind of thought to myself,
By a
like,
manager here?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
yeah. So for
Do I
4 years-
know them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So 4 years, and then like I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I think I could do this. Like,
Yeah,
I
sure.
see what's going on. I can handle all this kind of stuff.
That's an interesting observation, actually, because globally,
Yeah.
in the business of stand-up, there's a real question about whether people need agents.
Yeah. Because
And a lot of them are saying, why am I paying this guy 10 to 15%?
Yeah.
I can do this myself, or
Yeah.
my manager can do this.
Yeah, exactly. And then the thing is that with the internet, contacting the talent is not as difficult as before. You would not know how to
at
get
all.
to them.
Yeah, but
right?
the
it's the
reality is that
admin
you're an organized person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Most comics can't handle it.
Exactly. So that's the thing. So then, okay, so I do that and I, get out of it and I, do my own thing. And initially, obviously, it's a bit tough. You have to figure things out. But then over time, you get used to it and you're good with it. And that works out for me. So I would say it's just the general idea. But then the thing is that you would grow over time. You get it? So even here in Hong Kong, is that I put it this way: is that living in Hong Kong, I have a feeling that things are going to keep changing all the time. But it's a matter of how flexible are you to go with the times. You get it? So that's why, like this week, if you told me, are you still feeling like you want to leave? I'm like, well, it has improved a little bit in a way, but it's also gotten bad over there. So
what do you think on a balance of probabilities it's going to be for you in 10 years, like at the city? Are you going to be okay with it?
I feel in 10 years' time, it's going to be black or white for me. Either I'll be long gone and I'll probably never ever come back, or I'm going to be here and be like, let's stick it out, man. Let's do this. Because I don't know, like I said, week by week. I mean, last week you would have never imagined like sanctions and this and that's happening, in a week's time.
Dude, the Americans have come in hard.
That's my point. So I'm saying, like,
you think that's a good thing?
The sanctions?
Yeah.
I have no comment.
Really?
I mean, do you not see my good mood in this room that we're sweating in? I'm not complaining about the heat.
I am sweating like I should be talking so callously. I don't know if the AC.
I feel like that's why I'm like, am I scared?
Am I putting you on the spot? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the room heat, man.
Yeah. Oh, like sweating bullets here.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Somebody open a window. A couple of questions from the group here.
Right.
By the way, in a minute, I want to take a caller once I've finished grilling my buddy Vivek. So if someone wants to call in, we'll take it. Question from Patrick. He said, okay, is Hong Kong going to get worse over the next few years and people exiting? I think we're kind of answering that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
People are exiting now. I think
very
COVID's
fast.
kind of stopped the exiting.
But the
do
process
you know what the
exiting.
number one reason I've seen people exiting for has been that they've lost their job.
Yes.
And it's too expensive a city to live in if you don't have a job.
Oh, yeah,
in fact, I think that's the only reason I've seen anyone leave.
Yeah. For now, definitely, because like with COVID and everything, it's so hard to get out. I mean, if you're going to have to get out, it's because you have no choice you can't stay. That's why you're out of there. Yeah, yeah. But people are definitely, don't worry, man. I've got like so many people talking to me about their BNOs and everything. I'm like, yep, people are definitely ready to go.
What's BNO?
A British National Overseas Passport.
Oh, really?
The one
yeah.
The one that pretty much Hong Kongers have.
So you're talking about local people leaving?
A lot of them, yeah.
A lot of local people are leaving.
Well, they're doing the immigration process. Basically, with the BNO passports, you can go to UK because they've changed the policy.
No, I knew about that. I just didn't know if people were taking it up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
I also didn't know if it was like they'd made a statement about it and actually done it. So it's happening.
Oh, dude, people are taking it up, man.
Really?
It's happening.
Do you reckon they're just getting a foot in there, or you reckon they're gone?
No, I think foot in there initially.
Foot in there, right?
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't think everyone's gonna like picking up.
It's the same situation. Like for me, it's like I've got a foot in places I can go.
Yeah. So people never thought of that because.
But if I didn't, I might leave. But I do. So like, if I need to leave, I can leave.
Yeah.
Another question. Just a couple of questions here. Sorry, I got to move up. So Nick was saying, I am capable of writing jokes that don't involve Trump or the CCP. I think most political jokes are lazy and look forward to seeing non-political comedy. There's good political comedy.
Okay, so I'll
there.
put it this way. There's two levels of political jokes I tell people. So first of all, the level one is that you just mention the news and the news itself is funny. Like, did you hear what Trump said? Blah, 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 right? But then the level two is when you add your own value. I keep saying, I'm telling people, like, the joke, if you just mentioned me what's funny in the news, I could have done that myself.
I just think funny is independent of anything else.
For sure.
If something's not funny, it's not because it's political. It's because it's not funny.
It's not funny. Exactly. Yeah. What I'm saying is that I value and respect a comedian who adds their own value to the funny political
I just
news.
value the funny.
Yeah.
Like, and I do think that it's harder to be political and funny.
Yeah.
But it's just about being funny.
Yeah.
And I think what you see is a lot of people who get a bigger platform because they're political, when if they were just their career was advancing based on how funny they are, they just wouldn't be on that platform.
Oh, for sure. In Hong Kong, there are a lot of like brands that are all about political stuff, and they're known for that. Yeah,
what kind of brands are we talking
like,
about?
For example, Chapman Toe, he has a show.
Right. Yeah,
so he's all about the politics.
Yeah, but you know what?
Yeah.
I heard it wasn't very political.
Well, you mean the one that's coming up?
The one that he just did.
Oh, no.
Maybe it's not Chapman Tove. There was some guy that sold out like
Yeah,
Star.
Star Hall.
Yeah,
He's not done it yet. It should be later on.
There was one there recently,
Oh, okay.
and it was not political.
I don't think it's him then.
It was. I find it, dude. It was.
But either way, yeah.
It was clearly like pitched as a political show.
Yeah. Oh
His
no, it's not. I
stand-up?
know you're talking about. No. He's
And it wasn't very political.
no, there's this other guy. He's like
He had the
100
yellow
most.
poster, right?
Chapman Toe has a yellow poster.
Oh, okay. If I confused them.
This guy is. I know you're talking about. He's the 100 most brand. There's a brand in Hong Kong called 100 most. It caters to like more younger audiences, and he's I think the founder / head guy. And he's one of those guys where he does touch upon politics, but he's not as political as let's say Chapman
Yeah, I heard
Toe.
it wasn't really
Yeah,
political.
it wasn't. No.
Yeah.
He was more just like a person kind of talking his mind.
Okay, here we go. A couple more questions. Patrick's asking, where do they go if they leave? Obviously, England has been a big
lot
one.
of UK, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I think people tend to go like Canada's a big one, Australia's a big one.
Huge one, yeah. Canada, usually Canada, UK, and Australia are the three big ones. US is difficult, so that
because it's a dumpster fire and you can't get visas anyway.
Yeah, exactly. You have that as well. So yeah, usually those are the big ones.
Because it's hard to land a plane in a burning hole. Question from Tim Choi. Local friends, not a question, but local friends of mine are definitely looking for ways out via BNO.
Yep.
Yeah. Peter saying in a Reuters article from June, their source mentions 120,000 BNO applications in 2019 compared to 17,000 in the previous 2 years before that.
Yeah.
Let's do a caller. We're about to hit an hour. You guys said we wanted to do this a bit longer, so I'm going a bit long today. Does anyone want to call in before we go somewhere where we're not melting into our seats? I'll give you guys a minute. If no one dials in, we'll just talk shit for another few minutes and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty happy this worked actually.
No chipmunk stuff.
Nick wants to test his mic.
Hey,
okay, Nick's coming in. Here we go. How do I take? Oh shit, we need headphones.
Yeah, we wear headphones.
You need that one. Okay. Just give me a sec. And Nick, if you could please do me a favor and don't be making ice, that would be great. All right. Nick, how you doing, man?
Just testing the mic. Do I sound okay?
Yeah, we got you. Well, you sound like a chipmunk, but
do I really?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, okay, perfect. No, I just wanted to say, hey, I mean, I'm new to stand-up. I literally started in January of 2020. I stopped teaching and went into comedy. And so what advice do you give to a new guy?
Starting in stand-up? Did you... So, I mean, really, the first year of doing stand-up, you just need to figure out what is your relationship with stand-up. Because stand-up is not... most people want to do stand-up when it's really good and easy, and you need to figure out if you're able to keep doing it regularly when it gets a little bit tougher or you feel a bit lost or you can't get the opportunities you want. And it's less about what jokes you're writing, and it's more about just getting up as much as you can, try to get as much advice as you can from people about your material and just keep trying new stuff. That's not to say you should be refining your old stuff, but make sure you're not just doing the same set every time you get up, and record every set. I think that's the most important thing I would say. Record every set, listen to it, use that feedback loop to keep developing your act, and just try to fall in love with stand-up. You can't force it, but
yeah, you can.
But you got to figure out if it works for you.
I fully agree with the record your set. Like, I would actually highly recommend you film your set down, because one thing you can do is that when you go back home, like the next day, watch your video and you become the audience to see what you actually look like on stage.
You know what? I just am getting into this.
Yeah. It's good. It's very useful.
It's so much harder to set up video because you always do it. You're very good at it. You and Tim are great at it. Having video does matter a lot because you, especially when you're starting, you do weird things on stage subconsciously. You don't realize, and you need to see it to take control of it.
Yeah.
So
that's one thing. And also don't forget, like when you're famous and stuff 10 years later, that footage is going to be expensive. Netflix will pay a lot of money.
Oh my God. I pay a lot of money to bury my first year footage.
So that's the one thing I would say, film it and watch it the next day. So you become the audience. You know, if you watch it the night you've just done comedy, you're still too fresh in your mind. But the next day you kind of have a fresh set of eyes. Watch yourself and ask yourself, like, oh, what about that did I like? Or what about that did I not like?
And also your memory of a set is not like, it's not 2020. You know, you can have a bad set, but one joke works and you'll tell yourself that the whole set went well. But like having that recording allows you to really dice it up and say, all right, what is working, what isn't working, and be surgical about it, and just try to figure out what is the way that works for you to work on your material.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think that's the best thing.
So I guess my follow-up question to that is, well, I do record myself at home, actually. I record myself about 4 or 5 times just so I get the cadence and the timing down. And I usually kind of gauge it myself. If I think it's funny or if it has a good rhythm, then I'll do that on stage. But I agree with you that, sometimes you don't really hear the laughter from the audience. You don't know.
When you're doing it at home?
Well, but when you're on stage as well, sometimes you'll talk over the laughter, and you just didn't really hear the laugh that you should have.
That's more of like a technical side to stand up, like knowing how to, Louis C.K. once said that the stand up, the audience is your instrument, which is kind of weird from a guy who used to jack up in front of the audience. But
hey, it's an instrument.
No, but it's true. That's like you've got to play the rhythm, and they're going to give you different reactions that you need to pace yourself into, and you need to kind of build that into your instincts. It's just from doing it lots and lots. The only warning I would say is doing it at home can give you a tendency to over prepare how you say it, and it can sound a little less in the moment when you're on
like
stage.
a presentation or a speech. Yeah. So one thing I actually tell people, I personally don't like to sit at home and like look into a camera or into the mirror and shoot my set. I'll put it in like point forms. I'll have like, a point A, point B, point C. And when I'm on stage, what I'm doing is that I kind of have the skeleton that I want to go from here to there to there. But exactly what words I use will be dependent when I'm on stage. Because, if the audience is laughing a bit more, then I might say a few more words just to kill time until my next sentence. And also, remember, when you talk to friends, you're not coming to your friends with a script. With a prepared script. You're just there with the ideas in your head, like, I want to tell them about that time I went down to the supermarket and I saw the apples, right? So you have that and you go with it. So what you find with comedy is that you're not on stage presenting a prepared speech. You're kind of talking like a friend. And if you allow yourself a bit of leeway of, saying words on the spot, then that way it becomes more natural. Because there have been so many guys who are like, world-class speakers who would come to an open mic night and you're like, this guy's talking too proper. Nobody wants to hear a guy like...
it's just a bit, it sounds... I can listen to an open micer and go, oh, they've been preparing this at home.
Yeah, you would just know. It's too well done.
It's got that, like, their rhythm isn't acknowledging the rhythm of the crowd.
Yeah, I usually tell people this. It's kind of like, you can learn to cook through recipe books with like exact perfect measurements and everything. But remember, like the grandmom that made that perfect, bolognese sauce, she probably didn't be like, okay, I need exactly 500 milliliters of water. She's like, I just pour some water in here. This looks good. We're done.
There you go. That's the Vivek analogy perfectly. Hey, Nick, thanks so much for dialing in, man. It's good to chat to you.
Yeah, later.
See you, dude. Let's get one more person. Is there anyone? You got time? Can you do one more?
Yeah, we got a bit of time.
Yeah. Let's get. If anybody else wants to dial in, we'll take another call. Tim Choi is saying, "Man, I didn't realize stand-up was this precise.
Oh,
I always thought it was off-the-cuff moments for the comedians. Yeah, but like the off-the-cuff moments are built in to." I'm trying to think what's a good analogy
it's
here.
Basically like it's kind of the gel between your two bits that you have, and depending on the audience reaction. If the audience is into it, you kind of just add a bit off the cuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can be off the cuff, but you also are moving in and out of things that are prepared.
Yeah. It's kind of like we give you the illusion that it's off. It's kind of like the magician who's like, "Is this your card? It's not. What the hell?" It's like, yeah, he knew that. He knew that wasn't your card.
Yeah. That'd be good improvised magic.
Yeah.
You're like, is this your card? I literally don't know if it's your
exactly. Yeah, the answer is yes, and it is your card, and you are great.
Are you guys going to do? Oh, Patrick's saying, are you guys going to do more skits now that Mama Hoo Hoo has ended? I'm not sure. I haven't had a lot of success with sketches.
Yeah.
And the problem for me is they're so time consuming.
Yeah, with the angle, like the writing, the acting, the timing,
getting people.
editing.
Yeah. I mean, we spent 10 hours shooting something that we didn't release.
I would like you to understand one thing. Notice how this podcast has minimum editing. That already tells you our personality.
Yeah, this is where we're at. I'm like, we want to do live, press a button, and you just ask us questions.
Yeah, do you understand how we've simplified? We used to record this podcast, record it, take it out of an SD card into a computer, and
that was too much for us.
Yeah. Now it's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to press one button, speak, and end it, and go home.
All right. We got any more callers? If anyone calls in now, we will take it. Otherwise, we're going to jump off. But I think that might be us. Hey, Guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Sorry about the little bit of today. Sorry about the little bumpy ride at the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning.
But pretty good. We're not,
No, I think
we're not
that's-
chipmunking it.
Yeah, I mean, it's sounding clear, no echoes. I think we've done it. We are professional podcasters doing live shows for an hour plus, talking to people. Oh,
Tim,
Tim
we got a
Choice.
butt.
oh,
We'll wait for that. What about the business that closed down in October? He's talking about the Wuhan. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Hey man, let me tell you that was tough. That was tough. You know, I mean, I remember knowing everything about that particular business.
Well, I was hoping he'd ask me about the businesses that closed down in Changchun, you know,
Yeah.
which I also don't know anything about.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you
Um,
know what? What funny story? I actually found out all the information about the business in Wuhan that closed down. Unfortunately, I mixed it up with my meal that I wanted to microwave, and I put it in my microwave, heated it up, and it blew up. So I have no information now. Thanks to
Wow,
the guy who
that
made an
was a-
ice pick microwave.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. That was.
What was that? What
I
was
have
this
no
guy
idea.
doing? All right, guys. Thanks so much. We're going to do this again next Sunday. We really appreciate you tuning in, and we'll talk to you then.
See you.
Bye.